his head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just going to line up here for Lazzy. He's going to find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feet.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Saints Fortnite community, it has been way too long since we got to show you guys a little bit of love here on the Saints Gaming CA channel, and I thank you for joining us here tonight because finally we get some Fortnite back on the air. Of course, my name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner, is going to be bringing you the action here tonight as we are in the NACE Spring Cup for duos. We are going to get started here with of course, the team captain and coach. This is Siri alongside Saints Junie. Going to be our duo here for tonight. Of course, with the NACE duo set up, basically you have one team, but you're allowed to have multiple substitutes here. So Siri, Junie going to take the reins here tonight as we do get our very first landing and first loot underway. Junie and Siri going to be keeping themselves together. And basically, for competitive Fortnite, for those who may not be aware, it's just as much or just as important to make sure that you get yourselves into the battles, make sure that you're fighting, make sure that you're getting some kills, as well as like trying to make sure that you're in there for the late game. You do get 1 point for every single kill that you are a part of. And your placements do matter. You still have to be very careful. You do see Siri and Junie pretty much right away actually finding themselves a little car. And this is going to be a learning experience for all of us here at watching as well as myself. Because of course it's been a long time since we've had some Fortnite action here on the Saints stream. And of course, Saints just absolutely, or Fortnite in general, rather, is always being updated as we do see the first skirmish here between Siri and Junie, and that's going to be a knockdown. They do have to finish the kill, however, in order to get this point. If you finish off the teammate, both players go down, so Saints looking to try and get themselves 2 early points on the board. We do see Siri and Junie just juking around with these buildings, but some good angles here, and it's going to be the first elimination coming out here for Siri. He's going to get credited with that one. So 2 kills already in the bank here for our Saints squad. A fantastic start. If everything just absolutely went to spaghetti, we'd still have 2 points at least tonight. And now they got the opportunity to breathe a little bit. So of course they want to have as many resources as possible going into the late game, of course, when the eye of the storm, as we do see, slowly closing in. It eventually gets to a point where it's so small that it's extremely hard to deal with. You're forced to build. So you want to have as much resources saved towards that ending piece. Now the nice little thing there for the Saints with the place that they did end up falling into, it did have a car available. So getting to point A to point B is actually going to be stupid easy. And from talking to Siri and Junie a little bit prior, before the match did get underway, they were saying that mobility this season has definitely took a change. Like before in Fortnite, you used to be able to jump into these rifts that would just like teleport you anywhere, send you up into the sky, and you can fly wherever you want to go. There'd be like wind tunnels that you could hop in and traverse the map nice and quick, which was making the Eye of the Storm, or the purple area where you would get hurt, basically not a threat at all. You would always be able to last second hop into one of those vents and you'd be a-okay. However, with mobility being trimmed down significantly, the cars are definitely important, but then there's also like you do have trampolines, basically, that you can launch yourself into the skies with. But other than that, you don't really have any get-here-now-quick kind of methods. So you have to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more strategic. You can't just expect that your team will be able to traverse into the safety area, or in the safe zone, whenever they please. And because Siri and Junie are in a safe spot as of this moment. They don't have to worry about really traveling anywhere, so this is a good opportunity for them to gather up as much materials as possible. And then maybe get themselves into a position where they can catch the other squad. Because, of course, did not exactly explain how these players are all playing with each other here today. But we have 50 different teams across a bunch of different colleges and universities, all in this one game competing here today. Of course, Saints coming in off of a hot week last week where they were third amongst all of the collegiate teams. Want to pick up exactly where they left off here. Yeah, Siri's in a good spot. Looks like Junie has a little bit of shields that he could still be finding, but is at least in decent fighting shape as we move forward. And looking like the Holly Hedges is where our Saints squad is going to be going. There is still under 3 minutes for this original, or for this main, excuse me, words are difficult here today. For this very first storm to actually get to where it needs to go, and then see if anybody does rotate through. Of course, the storm's still big rather early in the game, but it's not until late where we're going to see that take much bigger effect. Okay, target spotted here for Siri. We're going to look to try and get the jump on these players, but of course, one thing you always have to be very careful of here in these battle royales in general, especially for Fortnite, is that as soon as you engage on one team, you don't want to get jumped on from another team, and all of a sudden, the third party, the third group of people coming in to attack you could really turn things for a loop. We do hear a bit of a skirmish happening towards this ship. Siri hasn't quite spotted them just yet. However, shots are being fired. Actually, that's going to be the one shot there from Siri. Huge shot with the shotgun. Junie has the flank as well. This person is not going to be long for this world. See you later. And that is going to be kill number 3 for Siri and Junie. It definitely worked out there. Saints all by themselves with that team, so they're able to just dive right in on them like it's nobody's business. Take care of them, take the kill, and move on here with their matchup. We still have 50 players in this lobby. A lot of casualties early here into this game. And with these NACE matches, one thing to also note, we have 2 matches here tonight. And there's obviously like a little bit of a gap, so if you die early, you're kind of waiting for a while, and that is definitely a rough feeling when you're trying to compete. You want to get into the fray, but if you throw away your life early, you're kind of stuck waiting maybe even up to a half hour, if not more, for the rest of this match to actually take place. And of course, your final position, it doesn't get tallied up right away. NACE does need to get all the screenshots and everything from everybody, but make sure to follow our Twitter. So when we have the final results for everybody, and we know where our team stands, you'll make sure that you get the update as well. We can get a rough idea for how the teams play, but we won't get a final idea until later. We do see Siri trapping somebody in here, actually, underneath the stairwell. Might be waiting for Junie. Oh, big 140 coming out here from Siri. He's not even touched. Beautifully done. See you later, Huge Glitter. You are out of here. And right now, Saints feeling pretty good, if I do say so myself. I mean, majority of them still have all of the shields. Siri, he's right in the fray of things, but he's still yet to be touched in this matchup, so looking good in that front. Junie still just trying to get all maxed out on shields. It's not necessarily been taking too much heat. It still could get topped off a little bit, but as we can see from the loadout here for Siri, he does have shields available. If Junie does get hurt, you can definitely pass one of those along. Apparently you can take taxis now. Okay, so hop on in. We're playing Crazy Taxi to get ourselves into the next zone. Still half a tank of gas on this thing too, so able to get into the zone nice and safe. I mean, at least this way, with the way the old Fortnite was, like I was saying before, where the riffs and whatnot, you can basically just do it stealthily. Like it made like a tiny audio cue, but it wasn't much. All you can know is like you're just walking down an area, then all of a sudden somebody dive bombs you from the top. But at least with vehicles nowadays, it is a little bit more interesting. Of course, these cars make an absolute ton of noise. So sure, they're being able to traverse a massive amount of space nice and quickly, but they're also just absolutely giving a massive audio cue to everybody nearby. And we do see Siri and Junie going to be starting to set up a little bit of a shop right in the center of where this storm will end up occurring. And might be a bit of a waiting game now. They have an okay amount of wood, but in terms of brick and steel, they are definitely a little bit on the lower side. So in theory, they'd have to probably farm out a little bit more before we get to the end game section of this match. Although I do like this, of course, with the storm shrinking once again. Now that they're in basically a sniper tower each, anybody who's coming into the safe zone or the center of the storm will be in trouble, possibly getting picked off here by the assault rifles of Siri and Junie. We can see somebody up on the high ground, up on the top of the building, kind of extending it with their own building behind where Siri was. So I don't think that either of these teams will get aggressive on each other, at least not yet. Still very early into the game to start trying to take down buildings. We do have some far shots coming in. One of the sniper towers from the far side has spotted somebody out. Now, of course, if Siri and Junie do spot it out, they would much rather maybe do a little kill steal of sorts, secure that, and get themselves a point for their team. Calm before the storm, of course, in this situation. And maybe wondering to yourself, or you might be able to figure it out for yourself, actually. Hey, okay, you're supposed to be in a sniper tower. Why are you in building mode? You can kind of see, you can actually see through your own building while in this. So if you switch to your gun, it would kind of block your view. And we do see somebody up on the rooftops, actually. Maybe looking to get a bit of a higher ground, but where do Siri and Junie make their move? It's a bit of an awkward spot here. 20 seconds left before the storm gets to its final position for, at least now, a sniper rifle actually being fired in the background. You can see these competitive players for Fortnite are absolutely nuts with how quickly they can start building things. And especially in the later game, you'll see that come to fruition. And the storm is actually in a good spot here for Siri and Junie. Some of these other sniper towers will have to move. But actually, even though they're technically in the safe zone, they're going to hop in the taxi and try to get something done. They don't want to play the waiting game here. They want to go for elims. I'm trying to see as a sniper shot comes by, and the points start getting paid out for positions at 17th. So you want to try and at least survive for that to make sure you get the bonuses. But you see Siri and Beauty. Okay, that's a throwback. Siri and Junie getting themselves right into the fray of things. Going to try and go off of their build skill and their gun skill alone to try and make this happen here. To put themselves right in the firing range of a couple of different players. Junie on the low ground, Siri on the high ground. See someone building right in front still. This competitive setting here for Fortnite, of course, always about just when to pull the trigger. When do you go? That's always one of the scariest bits, and that building got absolutely shreked, so that will be done. And there's actually another set of players building behind them as well. Siri and Junie kind of in the midst of this. Have a target kind of where they want to go, but they're not going to be able to get there very easily with the way this is shaping up. There's a relatively fortified base up there too, up in the top. It is built by a bunch of steel. And then I don't know if it's just a different meta or if the Saints are a little bit behind here, but having maybe 300 or so of each resource, it may seem like a lot, but actually I don't think that's enough necessarily to get into this late game and feel comfortable if I'm either Siri or Junie. One thing that did end up coming into the fray as well, there was a care package of sorts dropped pretty much in the center of the storm. The rest of the storm is caving in on these players as well. Next 20 seconds, we'll see where the storm ends up moving to. And it's really going to start getting small, and all these players left, the 23 that are left here in this game, are going to start getting rather cramped. Will all these teams in their forts have to make a run for it? They very well might have to, but Siri and Junie do not have to if they really don't want to. They very well might. They may be looking to make a play towards the care package. Maybe not, actually. Looking to maybe make a play towards the outside, but we do see a little bit of action just on the outside of Siri's location, as well as, of course, Junie right around the corner as well. Definitely getting ready. I see Siri ready to pull out their assault rifle at any moment as players are about to be knocking on their door. They're building actually right next door. Hello, neighbor. We're going to blast you in the face if you get any closer. We'll have to see in a moment. Still not opting to pull the trigger. You can possibly try to hold out here for these next 30 seconds. And shots fired. Never mind. He's going to get it. He's going to get the knockdown. Can he get the finishing blow, though? He's getting it. He's going to find himself another one. Nice kill here from Siri and Junie, and they have a bit of an angle onto this next battle. They're technically the third party in this one. Two teams battling out in the fort next door, but the shots from Siri could very well get the kill steal instead. And Junie actually moving forward alongside Siri. They're trying to just extend their fort so that they can still have themselves a solid angle onto that fight, but keep themselves safe. Storm is now moving forward as well, so any of these teams caught on the outside are going to have to kind of have their hands forced. And in terms of teams, we did just see popping up there on the left-hand side that the Saints have made it to the top 12, so they are guaranteed 6 points here based off of their positioning. And of course, you get 1 point per elimination. I think that's 7 across both Siri and Junie so far. So game number 1 so far rather successful here for Siri and Junie. We see here again the two teams next to each other battling it out. Siri looking for his opportunity, but not able to strike just yet. No real angle. Doesn't want to waste your bullets either. Of course, you do have 300 bullets still in that assault rifle, which again, that sounds like a lot, but when you're trying to plow through a building, that may not be the case. We do see Siri actually going to be taking some heat. A huge shot actually taking away all of his shield and a little bit of health as well, but he's going to be able to top himself off. Carrying all those extra shields are going to come in handy. And now this is going to be looking rough here. We have 3 care packages on the grounds, but look where that storm location is. Way far away. You can see up in the minimap in the top right. That tiny little circle, that's where our Saints have to go, and they are pretty much on the opposite side here. As we do see multiple members across many teams trying to make a run for it. Siri going to try and get a pop shot now. Looks like it's time for Siri and Junie to get on the move and try and use other players' forts to have some cover moving forward without trying to make as much, without being as noticed as possible. There's actually a little bit of loot here as well. If they wanted to try and grab a sniper, not going to opt for it. Might be a little bit too close quarters for that. Just building away as the storm is about to shrink on down on top of them. Saints might get stuck into the storm, but they could get the jump onto somebody. He does grab the sniper rifle. Shot missed. Unfortunately there for Siri. Gonna try this again. Still trying to stay in the mid-ground here. Not quite in the safe zone just yet. Pretty much right where that fort is. It's a bit of an awkward spot. They don't have a very good angle to try and attack this on. They're going to try and build an attack from above, possibly. They are now in the safety area, as long as they can keep this all topped off. And a little bit of AoE shielding coming out now here from Siri as well. Did have the cans to get everybody all topped off, so keeping the team safe at least a little bit with 15 players left in the game. And this is where things start getting messy. So we have back and forth battles here between Siri, Junie, and another squad. Their building does get completely shattered. They do not have much for shields. They're going to have to go into some sort of safety zone, but they can't really get there. They do not have much shields, at least right now for Siri anyway. Junie is actually in a bit of a better shape right now, but if Siri could find the opportunity to get his get a shield drink in him, would definitely be for the better. Is going to opt to use one of those cans, get him past 50 at least. 14 players still to go. That was a good shot there from Siri. Did tag somebody, but not going to take him down just yet. The Storm's going to move again. This is where things start getting really, really messy for competitive Fortnite. He's going point blank with somebody. Junie going to find that one, however. So another one on the board for the Saints with the Storm. It's moving far and farther away. Everybody is going to have to shimmy on forward. Oh, no, he had the jump, but he ran out of ammunition. He's going to have to quickly reload. Junie going to lead the charge, has the most health here on this Saints squad. There's going to be no time for Siri to take a drink, try and get some shields up. Hoping that he doesn't get shot from behind. Sniper rifle going to be missing. Trying to quick scope him. Is that Widowmaker? It kind of looks like it. Going to see if they hang on for now. Nobody does end up going down. We are in the top 8. We have ourselves a bit of a lag spike, but we are right back into the game. Thank goodness. 9 people left. Snipe is not going to find its mark. They're going to try and shoot the floor from underneath them. Knock the player on their rear, but not going to happen. Of course, fall damage is definitely possible here in Fortnite. And after that gigantic skirmish, the Saints do manage to stay within the eye of the storm, within the safety area. But they don't have much time again. It's going to be shrinking and on the move once again. Siri trying to make his way to the top, has about 50 shields and still pretty close to a full health bar. Junie, if he doesn't have shields, he's pretty hurt though, sitting at about 50. Junie from one angle. There's a good flank there from Siri. He's going to be able to get at least a little bit of damage. He's going point blank with somebody. Big shots coming out, but he's going to be tagged up as well. The Storm is moving. Is Siri going to be able to get out of here in time? He's trying to go down, guns blazing, it looks like, though. Junie's alongside him, taking a little bit of heat, though, from the Storm. Of course, the Storm does not care about what your shield count is. Junie under attack. He's getting taken down, but a huge kill here from Siri. Can he get himself back into the safety area? Junie, unfortunately for the Saints here in this situation, are dead, or is dead. Not going to be able to get back into this game. 3 players remaining. And the Storm still moving. Saints with a fantastic spot once again, starting off this first game of week 2 in fantastic fashion. Did spot one of the players. Can he get the shot off? He spots the other one. Does not quite find its mark. We're going to go point blank here for the finish, more than likely. Third party Siri, he's going to get second place. But a close but no cigar moment, but still a very fantastic finish for our Saints. Dr. Duke is going to end up being the one taking the W here in terms of game 1. So an exciting first match here for then NACE Fortnite duos. And let's see if they... How many kills did they end up having here? This is what always messes me up when trying to analyze Fortnite, was how many kills did they have at the end? We know they finished second, so that's 20 points based off of their positioning alone. However, the difference is going to be, of course, that elimination bracket, where I think they got at least 7 eliminations. So a game of at least 27, that is a huge round for the Saints, and they're going to be able to take that and push even forward. Because, of course, week after week, match after match, is all these points accumulate, and at the end of the season, we'll crown ourselves a winner, or at least get ourselves into playoffs. But definitely looking forward to game number 2. It's been so long since we've done anything Fortnite, and that was actually kind of exciting. But of course, we do have to wait because we do have ourselves a custom server. So we're going to take ourselves a couple minutes to wait for NACE to get themselves all situated and get ready for game number 2. But a fantastic job for Junie and Siri for game number 1. Happy to have Fortnite back on the stream, and we're going to have some more of it in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere.